Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Lexi, and welcome to Library of Lexi. And today we're going to be talking about my March wrap up. And also, I wanted to go over with you guys the way that I rate my books. So we'll start off with my wrap up. I read 21 books in the month of March, but we will just be doing a top 10 reads of March because the video will be way too long if I talked about all 21 books. So we're just going to talk about 10. And so the way that I rate my books, I rate them on a scale of 1 to 5, and I rate them like through my enjoyment. So how much I enjoyed the book. So if it made me laugh, if I was smiling, crying, you know, how it affected me emotionally, and as well as the storyline. So if it made sense to me, if I enjoyed all the characters, if there were too many characters. So yeah, let's get started. So I said I had 10, but I have an honorable mention, so that's 11, but we'll just say it's 10. The Diviners by Libba Bray. Now, this book I gave 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I listened to the audiobook, and I actually have the physical copy here on my shelf as well. That's how much I loved it. So we go with Evie, and she has this special gift which gets her into trouble, and pretty much she ends up helping her uncle solve these crimes. I guess he's like a detective in New York, I believe, but the story is based in like in the 1920s. But needless to say, it was amazing. I loved every bit of it. It was like 20 hours of pure just amazingness. I absolutely loved following Evie and pretty much just everyone in the story. I need to read the second book, but I kind of want to reread The Diviners just because, and then I'll read the second book. But yeah, so the next book is gonna be, so, and I'm working my way down, so from 10 to 1. So we're gonna go with number 10, which is Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi. So I gave this book 5 stars. I enjoyed it when I was reading it, but after I finished it, I was just kind of like, meh. I didn't really feel the need to continue on in the series, and I know there's like a million books in the series. It's like 7 books, I believe. But I don't know, it just didn't really stick with me. Like while I was reading it, it was good, but I was ready to pick up Ignite Me like right after, and I believe that's the second book, and it just, I don't know. Honestly, I started Ignite Me and I had like totally forgot everything that had happened in Shatter Me. So I guess that kind of tells you that it didn't stick with me. And now it was good. I would rate it 5 stars. I enjoyed it, but I don't remember that much from it. Okay. And the next book, numbered in the 9 spot, is gonna be A Court of Thorns and Roses. And now I also have this on my shelf here. I have the whole series. I'm currently reading A Court of Mist and Fury, but we'll talk about A Court of Thorns and Roses. So I gave this book 5 stars. I love it. I'm officially a SJM stan. I love Sarah J. Maas. I absolutely love this book. I love following Feyre and how she fought for her family, fought to feed her family. It doesn't get any more real than that. And then just everything that happened, I mean, it was just, the story was just a roller coaster ride. It was literally just a whirlwind of a ride, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Yes, I will definitely be picking up the collector's edition of A Court of Thorns and Roses. But yes, I think The Diviners and A Court of Thorns and Roses are definitely my top 2 for the month of March. That's for sure. And then the 8th book, 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Now, this is another book that I gave 5 stars, and initially, I tried to read this book 5 times. 5 times. I tried it physically, and I tried the ebook. And for some reason, I just couldn't get past the first 2 chapters. I don't know why. Well, I guess I do know why. I felt like it was just too many characters and it was just jumping all around. I just couldn't follow it. So finally, I decided to pick up the audiobook and I loved it. I loved it. Every bit of it. Seriously, every bit of it I loved. I'm definitely going to be picking up the physical copy again, and I definitely want to reread it. And I'm definitely reading Cricket Kingdom, that's for sure, because it was really good, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read it. I can't wait to reread it and read Cricket Kingdom. And let's see, number 7 on my list is going to be Cruel Prince by Holly Black. Now, I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed, Jude, and I did not like Carden at first. I did not like him at first. He was doing way too much. I enjoyed it. I read all the books in the series, and I think I gave The Wicked King 5 stars, and I gave The Queen of Nothing 4 stars. But The Cruel Prince, I loved. I really did love it. I enjoyed it. I read all of them back to back. I binged it. That series I binged. I think that's the first series in a while that I've literally read each book back to back like that. And the next book on my list is going to be Prodigy by Marie Lu. And that is number 6. I gave that book 5 stars. Now, I really enjoyed it, and I immediately read the second book as well to that one, which I believe is Legend. Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I don't remember too much about it, but like I said, I did read a lot of books in March, but I know at the time I did enjoy it. It was about Day, I believe that's his name, and he was fighting for his family as well. And yeah, that's about all I can remember. But I know it was good while I read it. I enjoyed it a lot. And the next book on my list is The Shining by Stephen King. And that book I rated 5 stars. Now, that I really enjoyed. This was about a family that ended up moving into a hotel because the father was the maintenance tech, and pretty much a lot of supernatural crazy things started happening in the hotel, and you should read it. You should read it. It was great. And number 4 on my list is going to be City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Now, I really enjoyed City of Ashes. I have read up to book 5 at this point, and I'm really enjoying the Mortal Instruments. I'm not going to get into it too much because I think I'm going to save my kind of thoughts and do a whole Mortal Instruments review of the whole series since I only have 2 books left. But just know that I rated it 4 stars and I really enjoyed it, and I like the Mortal Instruments more than the Infernal Devices. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I said what I said, and yeah, I'm sorry. Tessa was too boring, too flat of a character. I couldn't get with it. I read the whole series, but no, I won't again. I won't read it again. Okay. The third book on my list is Nosferatu by Joe Hill, which I gave 4 stars. Now, this was like a supernatural thriller type of book. It's about a girl that has a gift, and pretty much she's getting into some trouble and ends up being kidnapped by this guy and escaping. And pretty much he comes back and takes her son, pretty much, and she has to go get him, and it's really good. It's a little bit scary, not that much, but I mean, I like horror and thriller and suspense and all that, so it didn't really bother me. So I think that if you like those things, then you will probably enjoy that book. Okay. And number 2 on my list is going to be On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. And I gave this book 4 stars. Now, I really enjoyed it. It's about Bree. She wants to be a rapper, and her dad actually died. I think he was shot. And she wants to be like him, pretty much be a rapper and just, chase her dreams. And she was being herself, and she did it. But you guys should definitely read that book. It was really good. And the last book on my list, number 1, is going to be The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. And I gave this book 4 stars. I really enjoyed Liesel and Hans's father-daughter relationship, and just this whole story. I really enjoyed. It was sad. It made me want to cry. Like, it was great though. It was really, really great. I would definitely, well, I have reread it. This was my 2nd time reading that. So, but I really enjoyed it. And that is the last book on my list. So out of the 21 books that I read, these are my top 10 books that I really enjoyed for the month of March. If you guys read any of these books, please comment down below so we can talk and discuss your thoughts and what you thought about the books that I read. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, of course, if you're looking forward to more content from me. And if you like this video, yeah, thanks for watching my video and joining me on Library of Lexi. And happy Easter, because I'm sorry, I'm recording this video on Easter, so happy Easter, and bye.